Namaste and welcome to today's English class of grade 7. We are in unit 16 and dealing with writing I and grammar I. In previous class, we read a story and did comprehensive exercises based on the same story, a lesson from a son, right? So we read that story and did comprehensive activities. Today we are continuing the same unit, and our activities are also based on the same story. So in writing task, okay, we are going to begin first writing task, and our writing task is related with story writing, stories. So it's very interesting. And I have also brought one story today. Do you like to see what story is it? Okay, here it goes. You can guess what story is it with the shape of this shoes, right? Okay, I'm going to read this story to you. Please listen carefully. Very interesting story. The Sioux House. Okay, the story title is The Sioux House. I'm going to read this story to you, and as I read, I would like to request you to keep in your mind the verbs. Okay, verbs. Which verbs I read over here, please keep in your mind and try to recall later on when I finish the story. Are you ready and excited? Very good. Okay, I'm going to read the story, The Sioux House. Okay, as I read the story, please do keep in your mind about verbs. Okay, do care about verbs, and later on I will ask you to repeat the verbs. Okay, what verbs were used in the story? Shall I start? Okay. The Sioux House. Once upon a time, there lived an old woman with her big family. Okay, there was a family. She loved her all children equally. Her family lived without her husband, so head of the family. Her husband was missing, and let's find out what was the reason. However, this wasn't the case before. The old woman's husband used to be a woodcutter. When he lived, he used to be a woodcutter. All of them lived together in a massive castle in the wood. One day, when the old woman and her children went out, a giant destroyed their house. Okay, this was the reason. So they looked for him everywhere but couldn't found him. They found then instead of that, one day when they were searching for her husband everywhere, they found a witch. Okay, so anything is possible in the story. They found a witch, and the witch had seen. Okay, it should be had seen everything. So she told them everything, and they thought of revenge. They thought of taking revenge. The witch helped them and killed the giant. And they lived happily in the shoe of the giant, as it was huge, it was big. That's why they started living in the shoes. Okay, so isn't that the interesting story? Yes. Okay. The story is over, but what did I tell you to remember? Yes, the verbs. Did you notice the verbs used over here? You must have, right? Just like lived, loved, and then wasn't, and then after, okay, destroyed, looked. Okay, So what have you found about these verbs? Can you tell me what is common thing about these verbs? Yes, these verbs were in past tense, right? What do we do with stories? Yes, we write story. Usually we write stories in past tense. That is what I wanted to focus. Verb to, okay, past tense. We use verb to, second form of the verb, while writing stories. Lived, destroyed, saw, was. Okay, these were the verbs used in the story that we shared before. Likewise, what we are going to do, look at here. Okay, look at the slide, writing. In the writing I section, what we are going to do is, we use past form of verbs when we tell a story. So, when we write or tell a story, we use past forms of verbs. Write all the past form of the verbs from the story. Okay, actually here the story is the story from your book, A Lesson from a Son. And the activity for the story that I brought about shoes, you can also list out the verbs from here as well. Okay, the verbs that we discussed, and you will come to know the past form of the verbs. And also you can also, for the activity, you can also create such kind of stories as my students prepare this one for me. Okay, so you can also write story and you can write in this different forms. Okay, so what we are going to do now is, let's go through the story that we did as we read as comprehension tasks in the previous class. Let's go through that story, A Lesson from a Son. Okay, you must remember this story. Yes. Okay, what we are going to do is, let's underline past form of the verbs over here. Okay, and that is going to be a great help to us while writing the story. Okay, we will write story as well. So let's go through. Okay, A Lesson from a Son. Valen was a carpenter who lived in a village. His mother had died a long time ago. His aged father, Kapan, lived with him. Kapan was very weak. He was so weak because neither Velen gave him enough food, nor was the food nutritious. Thus, he had no energy even to walk. Have you found the verbs? Obviously. And have you underlined? You must have, right? So let me show you verbs like lived, lived, live, lived, and then aged, aged, aged. Again, lived, same verb, and then was, and here goes next gave, give, gave, and then had. Okay, so these are the verbs in the past forms. Please do underline. You really need to do that. Okay, please underline these verbs. Okay, so we continue the story and underlining task as well. As I read the story, you are to underline the verbs. Okay? All right. Velin had given his father a small earthen plate. Even a small quantity of rice on the plate appeared to be too much. He did not have a good social reputation. He was a drunkard too. After being drunk, he always treated his father badly. So let's underline the words like over here, appeared. Okay, then what's there? Did, and then what did you underline? Was again, and finally treated. Okay, so have you underlined the same? Good. Continuing the same story, let's read this one. Velen had a son named Mithu who was just 10 years old. He was a very good boy. He was very intelligent and had great respect for his grandfather. He did not like his father's attitude and character because his father was not treating his grandfather well. So here, which verbs do we underline? Was again, okay. We have been underlining was time and again. Time and again it has been used. Had, okay. Then did, had, was, then after, finished. Okay, next. In next paragraph, one day Kapan was eating his food off earthen plate that his son had given to him. It fell down and broke into pieces. The food also fell on the floor. Velen was working at the other end of the room. He saw the broken plate. He was very angry with his father and used very harsh words to abuse him. The old man felt bad about what happened. He was sorry for his mistake. However, Valen's word wounded him very deeply. Okay, it's a little bit longer paragraph. I hope you have found many verbs in the past tense over here. So which verbs? Okay, was is there again. Then come on, guess which one? All right, fail. Then broke. Okay, this is also broke. Watch. Next one, saw. Next, felt. And then wounded, right? So these are the past form of the verbs used in this paragraph. Let's continue next. Mithu saw this. He did not like his father. His father was ill-treating his grandfather. Although he had pity about his grandfather, he was afraid to speak against his father. Thus, he could do nothing in support of his grandfather. So, let's underline the verbs again, like did, then was again, and then had. After that, was. Okay, and finally, could. Okay, so these are the verbs. Now again, let's continue next paragraph. The next day, Mithu took some of his father's carpentry tools and a piece of wood. He worked with the tools to make a wooden plate. His father saw him working. "What are you making, Mithu?" he asked. "I am making a wooden plate," replied Mithu. "A wooden plate? For what?" "What for?" asked his father. Have you found the words? Verbs? Okay, yes, of course, verbs in the past tense. Took, take, took, right? Then what's the next? Okay, worked, work, worked. Then saw, see, saw. And then asked, okay. Replied. All right, so these are the verbs. Then next paragraph. "I'm making it for you, father. When you grow old like my father, grandfather, you will need a plate for food. A plate made from earth may break very easily. Then I may scold you severely. So I want to give you a wooden plate. It may not break so easily." Here, have you found past form? Yes, made. Okay, made. And some of the verbs already repeated, right? So made is here. Okay, now we will quickly move to next paragraph. The carpenter was shocked to hear this. Only then he realized his mistake. When Velen was a small kid, Copen had reared him with much care and attention. With time he grew old. Velen remembered his joyous past and was now very sad about his own behavior. He then became a different person. Okay, we can find verbs like shocked, Are you underlining or not? As I read, you are to underline. And now we are conforming, okay, shocked. And then realized, okay, realized. And what's there? Reared, was is repeatedly, that's why I have not underlined over here. You can do that. Reared, and then grew, grew. After that, remembered. Became. Okay, finally we have this. From that day, Valen treated his father with great respect. He gave up drinking too. Valen learned a lesson from his own son. Here also we have the words like treated, treated, gave. Okay, then what's there next? Okay, learned. All right. So we have done with all the verbs in the story. Now for a quick revision, let's see the verbs what we have found, like lived, aged, was, gave, had, took, did, appeared, treated, scoot, walked, saw, asked, replied, made, shocked, remembered, became, realized, reared. Okay, if I have not included some more, you can, if I have missed any verbs, you can even include that. And some are repeatedly used, that's why only one time I have used here. So your task is again to list out all the verbs from the story that are in past tense. Alright. Okay, now we are moving to next activity in your writing one section given in your book. So what's that? Let's check it out. Okay, what is there? Number B, put these new sentences in the correct order to make a new story. Okay, you are to create again new stories, and what you need to do is just to rearrange these sentences A to K. A to K mean 11 sentences we have, and we are rearranging it. What occurs first? For that, you read one by one first, okay, and then rearrange. Okay, we will do directly. Okay, what might come first? Okay, if both of them speed off, it might not be though the lion laughed. Okay, I promise you this disturbed a lion was once. Okay, it sounds like beginning of the story, right? A lion was once sleeping. Okay, a lion was once sleeping in the jungle when a mouse started running up and down his body for fun. Okay, this seems to be number one, so we have to make it number A. All right. Then number B, which is number B? Let's find it out. Number B. Okay, here it goes. Number B. This disturbed the lion's sleep, and he woke up quite angry. He got angry because mouse went down, up and down in his body. Now let's find out number C. Where is number C? Where is number C? Okay, this is number C. The lion was about to eat the mouse when the mouse desperately requested the lion to set him. And the lion was about to eat the mouse. Yes, he was caught. Mouse was caught by the lion and about to eat. But mouse requested the lion to set him free. Okay, this is the third one. And have you found the fourth after this? Okay, let's check out whether your guess is right or wrong. Number D is this one. I promise you, I will be of great help to someday if you save me. Who said this? Yes, mouse said to the lion. After that, okay, E is this one. Though the lion laughed at the mouse confidence. He let the mouse go. This is E. And number F. Okay, this is F. One day a few hunters came to the forest and took the lion with them. After that, what is the next number? Have you guessed already? Okay, check it out. This one is the next number. They tied him up against a tree. Okay, then what happened? After that, the lion was struggling to get out and started to whimper. And then, yes, soon the mouse walked past and noticed the lion in trouble. After that, okay, the mouse quickly ran to set the lion free, and finally both of them sped off into the jungle. Okay, so this is the right order. Now after join all the sentences and form a story. Okay, now next activity, let's go to the next activity again. Okay, in the writing task there is a story writing task again, one more time. C number. Now develop a story with the help of clues given in the correct order below. Give a suitable title too. Okay, so we have this clue: a farmer with several sons. Sons always quarrel. The farmer sat sad, falls ill and is taken to hospital, dying, calls all his sons, gives a bundle of sticks to break. Okay, so finally and after completing story, we have to give a moral as well. Title and moral. So in your examination also usually you are given such type of skeleton, and I have found most of you just fill up these gaps, and this is not the task to be done. We have to write this in the extended form story. Okay, so I have brought the sample over here, and you can try some more other skeletons. Okay, here is the story. Once there lived an old farmer in a village. He was sad because of his sons, who used to quarrel all the time. One day the farmer fell ill and was taken to hospital. While he was dying, he called his sons and asked them to bring a bundle of sticks. Then he asked each of them to break the bundle of sticks. They tried one by one, but couldn't break. After that, he asked them to separate the bundle and gave them each a single stick and told them to break. The sons broke the sticks easily. Okay, in this story also you must have noticed the verbs. Though in the clue it was given in the present, while writing the story you have to change that in the past, like lived, was, and then failed, curled. So use past tense. Now let's give a nice title for this story. What could be the title? Can you give a title? Of course. Okay, I have given this story The Wise Farmer, and we can also learn something from here, from this story, and that will be as a moral, and the moral is unity is strength. Okay, so with this we have completed writing writing I part, and I would like to request you to collect some skeletons and write a story in the past tense like this, and even you can write those stories in the shape. You can give shapes to those stories and write in the shapes. Okay. Now let's go to grammar I section. Okay, grammar I. We are going to the next session, that is grammar I. Let's check out what's there in the grammar I session. Okay, the first. Okay, A. Study the following sentences. So we are to study these sentences first. Number A. My friends were cooking food last night. Number B. Indu was reading a novel when John came. Number C. Were the children laughing? Number D. They were drawing pictures some time ago. Number E, it was raining yesterday evening. What have you found after reading these lines, these sentences? What common things you have found? Yes, use of verbs like, is it the same that you have guessed? Okay, yes, were cooking, was reading, were laughing, and then were drawing, finally was raining. Okay, so you have found the same thing, right? Was, were, ing, so we can call it past continuous. Okay, so next activity is the best on the same activity. B, make 10 sentences from given table. Okay, we have a table. I have printed this table over here. Okay, let me paste it on the board. The same table is over here. Now we are making sentences from this table. Like, okay, let me do of they. They, with they, of course, we do not use was. They was, we don't use were. They were, so one of the clue from here, drinking tea when I arrived. It's fine, right? Or watching TV at night. Watching TV at night. Any of the suitable point we take. Okay, so they were, let's take the first clue, drinking tea when I arrived. Okay, so fine. Then next clue, pasang. Okay, pasang. Pasang, singular, right? Singular, that's why was. Okay, then pasang was watching TV at night. Okay, that's fine. Watching TV at night. Are you getting it? Good. Okay, so you can form sentences like this. Let's make one more sentence. Which one will you make? Okay, let's continue. Yamuna. Okay, and Yamuna was having lunch when the teacher turned up, or let's try the same. Yamuna was having lunch when the teacher turned up. Okay, like this you can form some more sentences. You are asked to form 10 sentences. Okay, you can form that. Now let's continue our task. So what is there next? Let's see. Number C. Okay, put the verbs in the bracket in their correct forms. Use either was or were and present participle form of the verbs. Present participle over here is ing form. Okay, example. In the example, a picture hang on the wall. A picture was hanging on the wall. Likewise, number A, John not play cricket with his children. He was writing a poem. So how can we complete this? John requires was and then not play. Was not playing. Is that correct? Okay. So you must have guessed correctly. Number B. When I entered the room, my parents were painting the wall. Number C. Kites were not flying. Likewise, let's continue some more exercises. D. The leader giving, already giving is there, so we just add was giving a speech at his time yesterday. Number E, my mother was cooking food in the morning, but I was dancing. Number F, children were not doing their homework, they were watching a movie. Okay, so we use where over here. Was here in D, in was, E was, but here where, as children is the plural form, right? Child, children. So it's where over here. Number G, she was swimming in the pool when I saw her. Now we have final activity, that is number D. Write at least 10 sentences about what was going on when you arrived at your school this morning. Okay, you arrived at school this morning and what was going on that time. Okay, let me share some of the sentences. What was happening when I arrived at school. Okay, when I arrived at school, my students were playing in the ground, and one of my friend was talking in the phone. And more sentences you can make like this. Okay, one more, let me tell you. Okay, the principal was dealing with parents. So in this way you can write your own sentences using what was going on when you arrived at your school this morning. So in this way you can practice your grammar. All right, I hope you have learned writing I and then grammar I today well. So what did we learn in writing I? Yes, we learned writing stories in the past tense, and then in grammar I we have learned using past tense and past continuous tense, and that is very much helpful to write story as well. So we have come to the end of this class today. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Namaste.